Hello and welcome to Team Fortress TV, to what some are calling the preview of the grand finals of ETF2L Season 27. My name is Dolly. On the camera we have the lovely Gem, and beside me we have Bren. Not literally, but...
No, not literally. I'm not actually sat next to Dolly, as much as I wish I was. I am firmly sat in my comfortable chair, sipping at a cold one in this warm summer that we have here in Britain today. But as you mentioned, Dolly, potential grand finals here. It's going to be Lowpander versus Se7en. Never thought I'd be saying those words, to be honest. Lowpander is a team that I considered to be a bit of the gimmick team, you know, but they seem to have stepped it up in recent times. They've been turning it around, and they're looking like a formidable force, formidable wrecking ball. Or maybe, as the meme suggests, it's a comment on the decline in Premiership Team Fortress 2. Who knows? We're here to find out today.
So, I'd just like to start off by saying that this is essentially a battle for first seed. Both these teams have secured their playoff slots, and they are in first place and second place, respectively. Se7en have had a very dominant season, as always, the top team in Europe, as many suggest. And one thing to note, however, is last week on Granary, they were beaten by Unexpected, which was certainly expected, unexpected indeed. It was a colossal comeback. It was really amazing to see, and Se7en just crumbled before your very eyes. It was really odd to see, considering that Crown's best map, or second best map, was Granary back in the day, back in I-58. So Se7en possibly looking to get upset here, but it doesn't mean all too much, and we could see some off-the-wall strategies here, Bren.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, question marks raised as to the state of minds of a lot of these teams competing now, with I-61 coming on the horizon. Se7en, I'm assuming they're still going to be looking to compete in the tournament, but who knows? I haven't heard any information to basically, what is the word I'm looking for here?
Confirm?
Contradict it. Yeah, so assuming they're still coming, it's you know, losses like that can be a bit of a hit on the mental psyche. As you know, coming into this, you're expected to be the best team in Europe at least, and you know, when you do get a loss taken off you in the officials, it can raise a lot of question marks. But we'll see if they do manage to clean sweep it, or if Lowpander have got something to show. I mean, what are your predictions, at least, Dolly? Then moving into this one, if you were to say, I don't know, given that the previous performances of Se7en that we've seen so far, Lowpander as well, who are you thinking that's going to be coming out on top here for Granary?
I think it'll be very close on Granary, simply because it's such a good map for banners, and we've seen throughout the season that Lowpander are very, very aggressive with the banners. They use them almost like 60% of the time. You know, it can really work in your favor, especially when you're trading in these tiny choke points, and can really help you crack open that defense. And Se7en are known for their rigorous defenses, so that could possibly help with that. And I'm sure Se7en haven't faced such high banner play before. One thing to note, particularly, is the rollouts for these maps, Granary and Process, are both very long, which does hinder some of the off-classing strategies that could come out. We did see Mookie a couple of seasons ago when they won high against one of the Honey Badger teams, that they do run Natasha heavy to mid and just kind of shut down the soldiers with him on that balcony, but I'm not sure we'll see too much of the off-classing on this map, simply because of the rollout. It's just too long for any sort of heavy or NG plays.
If I see anyone running heavy to mid, I'm going to be cracking open more than a cold one. I can tell you that much. It's I'll be cracking open the speed, the Adderall to get the pump going, but it's like Lowpander always that team that when I've casted them in the past, they've always been not frustrating to cast, but it's always been like a completely different change of pace, and I don't know, it's always been a little bit more difficult than because you don't really know what's going to happen. But against Se7en today, let's have a look. I want to see it. I want to see the teams ready up any moment now. We've got 6 on either side. What are you predicting, Dolly?
I'm predicting that it's going to be very close on this map. I think it's going to be about 3-2 to Se7en, and then it's going to be a clean sweep on process. I think Se7en and Stark with the timing on the flank and everything, I think it's just too much for him to abuse. And Captain, obviously the star player for Se7en in this season, will have lots of dominant force on this map as well as process. So I'm saying Se7en take both maps, but it'll be interesting to see how hard these teams are going to butt heads.
Well, yeah, do you know what I am happy to see is that the players haven't gone for ridiculous names. That's my one. I hate it when you're casting a game and someone's name is like "I hate anime" or something, and you just don't know what to. You don't know who it is at a glance because, like, obviously you know who's on the team before the game begins, but to register it in your mind that so and so equals anime def, it doesn't trigger mid game, so you end up just calling like "anime hits a fat double kill" or "double headshot from anime." I don't know. I don't know why I'm using anime as the example either, but Dolly, I can tell you one thing. The team's ready and up. They're ready to jump into it. It's going to be map number 1 of the ETF2L Season 27, Week number 7, Lowpander versus Se7en. The countdown begins. What are we expecting between these two teams? I'm not too sure. I'm going to be brutally honest with you, chat, and everyone else watching at home. I haven't been watching too much TF2 recently, so I'm going to be hopefully pleasantly surprised by Lowpander's performance. But Dolly, take us away for the first mid.
Okay, I'm going to be watching Funds on this map. I want to see what he does on these top crates. Kada's rolling out off the top of the crate. Funds takes a lot of early damage, and it might be traded back soon. But Mookie going for a very high bomb. He's so high in the sky, going to land on Raymond's head, but Raymond too good with the jukes, and Bren being traded left and right on the side of Lowpander, and it looks like they have just lost 3 in that fight. The bomb's not working at all. Perfect bait of aggression there from Se7en, and they're looking to plow forward off the back of no frags lost on their side.
Yeah, got a heal advantage now, and the players, as you mentioned, happy to just roll forward into the second checkpoint here of Granary. 5 times on a point. So a bit of a silver lining there for Lowpander. Crayon did not fall, which means they are going to have the Uber charge here for the last point defense. But, I mean, Se7en, are they the kind of team now? Have they gone out of their shell a little bit? They're not going to be pushing out, obviously, into a Uber v Uber advantage. But what are you anticipating here, then, Dolly, from the side of Se7en to try and get that pick? I mean, Crayon going down would be gorgeous for them. But what, in reality, do they want here to try and get an entryway? Because, I mean, as I say, that Drax moving in regardless, tries to go for the rockets, but the movement is there by Crayon, just dodges and jukes it, and it's a 2-man advantage now to the side of Lowpander.
Yeah, and it's interesting to note that, wow, what a pipe there from Kados, showing his old prowess, and Raymond has forced.
Yeah, it was the Uber force coming out by Mookie. Yeah, that was honestly wonderful stuff. Somehow managed to get into the back of it. Nobody was watching the upper area because they wanted to disengage after losing 2 players, but in the end, not quite working out for them. Still Lowpander trying to wiggle their way in, but they're finding that the spam from Se7en is still giving them out for now. Time will tell. With that one pick, that could turn things around.
Indeed, and Drak and Ubers are just going to take this 1v1 on the flank. Drak is both soldiers disengaged, actually, and it's looking like we do see the Uber come out of Lowpander, but Funds has just gone so far forward onto Raymond. He's completely disengaged from his team there and just tries to chase the medic frag off the back of such low health before the Uber. So now that Uber has failed miserably and 2 casualties going the way of Lowpander, so they're going to set up on that heavy. Uber's on the banner. One thing to note, should be up soon, but Raymond on a good 60% Uber advantage or so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care how good your banners are. When you've got 100% Uber ad, you're going to be making full usage of it. Now, Mr. Epic moving across the point. Uber charge comes out. Cadis making the calls, leading the charge in, putting in the damage. The pipe connects onto Funds, deletes him from existence. Now, Mr. Epic needs to be brought down. He's doing the damage. He's doing the business. And he brings down Fallash. It's going to be that 1-for-1 trade. Hildreth finally going to be moving up with the follow-up. Do they have the heals there? Raymond once again falls into the back lines. The damage. The rockets being plowed into them in the last point. 4 times on it. It's going to be round number 1. Going to Se7en in a blitzing play towards the tail end of that one round.
It just comes off the back of that Uber, you know, they were so disconnected. Funds just plows forward, tries to get Raymond, doesn't work. They take so much damage before the Uber that they're such low health, they can't particularly get any grounds, and they just fail off the back of it. They lose 2, and Se7en known for punishing mistakes, and well, that's what we see exactly there. But I'm going to be watching Cadis this mid.
It'll be interesting to see what he gets done. He sends in the stickies here and there. Hildreth still on about half HP. Team's definitely not there. He's applying the pressure. We see Se7en rotating. Again, quite patient gameplay. Cadus, though, he bit off a bit more than he can chew there. Gets moved forward. Dracta's traded out evenly, but as it stands, Lowpander with the one-man advantage. Excuse me. I'm having a coffee fit. I don't know why that's so funny. I was just trying to cast, and suddenly my breath was like, no, Brennan, you're going to start to have a coughing fit mid-play-by-play.
So Drac is still down. 5 seconds spawn on him, and they could use that as an entry pick, and they certainly are. They're getting quite a lot of cap time there, and obviously Mookie behind everyone. But wow, Crayon goes down to Cadus' sticky trap, and they're just going to roll forward off the back of that. Wow, what a play from Cadus.
Yeah, that one pick, turning things around, 100% Uber. Raymond pops it off with no hesitation at all. Hildreth is one of the last man standing, still holding on strong. Does get the surfway? Not quite. Falash is there, slams him down with the scatter gun, and it will be the eventual move forward here of Se7en. They're going to be looking to take up this mid, and they, again, have a slight Uber advantage of about 30%, so potentially looking to get some movement done with it, but the way Lowpander are building, is it going to be looking too viable? Not quite. It's about a 30% add. Is that enough? No, it's not even that now. It's 20%. Probably not enough to work on.
Yeah, especially with those tight choke points, it's so easy for a dumber man or a soldier just to lock those off and just keep spamming and make you reload and make you juggle. But Cadus looking to just kind of move forward, get some information, but as we say, the Uber advantages have closed the gap, very much so. But Raymond does have the Uber, and I think that they have more of an Uber advantage than they actually do. They're moving forward, and Lowpander sort of passive play, but they possibly could be trying to bait them in here as we see the Uber.
Okay, Cadus wants to lead in the Uber charge. I think, as you mentioned there, Dolly, they thought they had a higher Uber charge advantage than they had. Raymond not going to get away from that one. He will fall in the end. Now Se7en look to try and punish them around the shutter hand area. Again, Falash and Captain make the movements, but they are going to be falling in the end. It's a 3-man disadvantage, I should say. But immediately, look at that. Drax on the flank, and he's picking off players all over the place. Picks up the health pack as well, brings him back up to a significant amount of HP. Those 2 kills have stopped Lowpander from pushing forward for now.
Yeah, Lowpander kind of in an odd position now. They have to send 2 players over to the flank, but that leaves just Hildreth and Crayon on their own. I'm surprised Se7en didn't want to go with that, but they do know that they have a disadvantage. Uber's jumping in deep despite that banner, getting quite a lot of space and takes down Cadus off the back of it. And Hildreth just flying in also, but they get punished for it. Everyone falling, 3 players down, and they look to take this Uber aggressively anyway, but Mookie needs to reload, and only Crayon and Fun's alive. And this is going to be a disaster for Lowpander.
Yeah, Se7en making the call there to move into the last point, seeing if they can get a pick or 2. Fun's is going to try and stagnate them for a little bit. The respawns are going to be coming in for Lowpander now. Spam by Se7en. They realize they do not want to take it. They can't really take that engagement. They do not have the Uber charge yet. Still, Crayon holding on to his own, but no opportunity for them to be pushing out of this last point. So, eyes on Drac to try and be making the plays again. He's going to be the man to watch as he moves up into the upper area. He's going to go for the sack. We shall soon see. Marosh moves in. He's the one who's going to be trying to sack. He does end up falling to Fun. So, can we expect an off-class as Mookie goes to Spy as well?
Yeah, I mean, Marosh, obviously a massive linchpin sniper for Arctic Foxes, and definitely on the level of Stark, murking for Se7en here. So a sniper should help them a lot, but I'm watching Mookie at the moment. He's the one to watch, as he is just sitting in this Z area. Get some information for his team, but he is going to start moving behind lines now. But he does get spotted out by Falash. That's a vac indeed. And,
that is vac. How did he get that? Is that just game sense? They must know that there was a spy off class.
Yeah, and now he's just going to be pinned behind lines, and this is gonna that one down on the defense is gonna make entry for Sniper, for Marosh on the Sniper to get some information on this left side, possibly a frag as well. But we do see Funds on the Sniper as well, so Sniper and Spy coming up for Lowpander, and Mookie is still behind.
Are they anticipating this? I mean, they must have switched Marosh to Spy to check if what off classes they were running on Lowpander, but that's why they're so cautious and Spy checking around the corners. Mookie is going to find it very hard to find any opportunities to work his way in. The call is going to be made that Marosh is moving into the high ground, as he does get spotted out by Mookie again. But can they do anything? I mean, it is just a waiting game at this point. Marosh trying to get that one pick that Se7en need.
Yes, and there we
what?
go. Mookie takes down the sniper, and this is actually very good. Now, Funds has a lot of entry to peek. He doesn't have to worry about the enemy sniper shutting him down. And now he can just get all the sightlines, and we see Se7en peeling away here. They're scared of the sniper, and Mookie takes down the second one. Wow, what a play from Mookie, opening up that defense from Cadis and the gang, and it looks like they want to take the plunge with the Uber here.
Okay, they're moving in. As you mentioned, the Uber charge is going to get exchanged by both these teams, but meanwhile, Mookie is still playing Assassin's Creed in the back lines. Just being that ever-known presence. Still, okay. Se7en is not playing this game. I'm not sure why I said Sil, but Maros is getting the headshots regardless of that. Putting in the damage for his team. Se7en looking to move forward off the back of it, putting in the work. Still half HP on Funds as well. Has to back off. Out of there, still contesting the second point. Deadly, deadly stuff. Uber's down to a sliver. Now the banner's going to be used as well. They want to be moving off the back of it. Is that... Who was the banner used by there? Was that Lowpander?
That's Mookie, yeah.
And he was just disengaging.
Uber's, yeah. That's my mistake. But yeah, he's just holding on to it. They're waiting for Se7en to push. They're waiting for that sniper to step too far forward. And they're just going to rush with it. I'm certain that they will use this in some sort of aggressive manner. I mean, it is a passive sort of banner where you get defensive resistance and health regen, but definitely... oh, not health regen, actually, that's
didn't
the
they just use it? I heard the noise, the
yeah,
blow
but
of
they're
the horn.
holding on to it. If Ubers is still just walking around with that horn out, and he's just waiting for Se7en to make a move. But Mr. Epic is now on sniper and on spy, and Funds is still on sniper here.
I mean, wouldn't you rather have a soldier that can just do things? Like, Maros is there, and he gets the headshot onto Funds. He's putting in the work. Tries to bring down Maros. He will eventually trade it 1-for-1. And I think that is all that they're going to be dealt. They're not getting anything else out of that.
Yeah, I mean, the banner's just such a good tool to have in case anything goes wrong. You know, we see Funds go down there, and then he just instantly blows it and trades around the corner with that defensive resistance. He can peek those aggressive angles, takes down Morosh, and then we're back to an even situation. His team is in no danger, so really good defensive use of the banners, but we do see Funds up on Sniper, takes down Captain, that is the star player for Se7en, and this could be room for Mookie to move in on the spy.
I don't even know how that banner works. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to lie. Mookie! Okay. He almost got a pick there, but not quite. Does get brought down by Falash. It was a 1-for-1 trade as well. Cadis once again fell. And without that demo man, lacking a lot of that area denial. So, not going to be able to find the opportunities that you are looking for. But spam comes out. Lowpander still, again, this one-round deficit is hurting them because they need to make a play off the back of it. Funds is their man! And he picks up the kill onto Captain. Are they going to find any more? Funds still creeping and crawling round the corner. Gets a fully charged body shot onto Falash. Force him to back off for now. Wait for the heals. Still capping up this point slowly but surely. The spam as well there. Are Lowpander going to be able to get this? The Uber charge gets forced out. It's going to be the Uber v Uber trade now. Cadis leading it in for his team. Searching for the damage. Seeing if he can get it done. But right now Lowpander are going to be backing off. But what they need is a single touch. A little wiggle at the point. And there you go. Goes their way.
On this point, this is where the banners are super effective. I mean, we have the sniper, who is just so bad at countering that sort of play when they rush around the corner. We do see Drak fall, so this could be an opening for Mookie. He does a lot of damage, but frags are just being traded left and right. Cadis shutting that down, and the banner gets blown. So we're looking to move forward on the side of Lowpander, despite being 2 down. And they're moving through this right side for absolute free, and it looks like Ubers is moving forward, just going to shut down Morosh and the gang. Raymond, nice serve there, but just slips away in the nick of time, and they can't capitalize off that defense. What?
Cadis just literally just sitting on the back cap. He's sitting on the second point. That has bought so much time for his team to disengage. Wow, what a big brain play. Seriously, wow.
Yes, indeed, and that should buy them some time now. Cadis is still down, and it looks like they want to move off if no spam coming into through the choke, but Ubers gets dropped in the process. That's no banner and no damage. Funds is going to come in onto Drak, but he gets traded off, and it's another disastrous Uber for Lowpander. They can't seem to push these points, Bren.
Not the worst case in the world. Yeah, they didn't get the push, but at the end of the day, they're still holding on to Yard for now. Wow, Se7en moving, making their way into the kitchen area. Well, is it even called kitchen? Lunchbox is the word I'm looking for. See, this is what happens when you don't play TF2. When you just don't get involved with the scene. You just forget how to speak and cast it. I might as well just be a CSGO cast. You might as well just get Machine in here. Get him in. You know, whatever. Regardless of that, it is equal Ubered to an extent. Crayon has a slight advantage, but is it going to be enough to work off? Not really.
Yeah, and without the use of that banner, I mean, they are building it up. It's really, really hard to push these chokes without sort of either an Uber or a banner. It does work very well on this point. We saw Selentes using it at I-58, but it looks like Captain and Drac have forced their way onto the flank here, and Captain could be looking to make a good play once this spam resides. But Mookie is on Spy.
Again, the Mookie Spy, the off classes. He's in the back lines, in decloaks. Captain heard that. They are going to spot it out. So they know there's a spy being ran. They do realise this. And they're going to be rotated around. Oh man. I'm just debating the chat. Saying that Pyro is my favourite class. I'm getting called to be banned.
You know what, Bren? I honestly wouldn't be surprised.
Anyone whose favourite class is the Pyro should be banned from the chat. There you go. I said it here. Man, this is still stagnated to the bitter end. 100% Uber by both these teams. They're both looking for an opportunity. They're both looking for an opening as well, but the only people who seem to be running the pick classes is Lowpander. But right now it is the default 6v6, the generalists, the scouts, the soldiers, the demos, the medic. And as it stands, Se7en are perfectly happy to be in this position. You need to remind yourselves that 1 round advantage, I think this is the position that they'd like to be in, because it forces Lowpander to make a move, try and make some plays happen, and all it takes is 1 slip up for them to cap up onto the last point and get another round. So
yeah, one thing you have to remember, it's so easy to roll on Granary though. Like, if Raymond gets caught out, or like 3 frags go the way of Lowpander, and they somehow turn the fight, like say if Mookie gets a hero play right now, it's so easy for them to roll into mid. There's very little Se7en can do if they slip up right now, but they are in control nonetheless. And as we say, Se7en loves to be in this position. They're so good at punishing mistakes, so good at controlling area. And this is their favourite position to be in, but we do see another trade.
Now this time it was Se7en taking the initiative in. Mookie meanwhile gets the backstab onto Cadus. Again, they're trading evenly here. Is it? I mean, I think you take that trade as Lowpander 9 times out of 10, because trading a spy for a demo man there, you're going to have a massive advantage. But again, trading evenly. Se7en now looking to pressure it forward, try and get this second point up. Both the scouts still up for Lowpander. Putting in the damage. Funds is definitely there. Look at this work they're putting in. They just rolled over. Raymond! Is he going for it? Surely you just killbind here, lad. And he's out. He's down and out. He couldn't make any fancy plays kick off there. Both the scouts are Lowpander turning up.
Yeah, Captain nearly saved that fight for his team, coming in behind and just surviving for so long, but frags got traded, and off the back of that pick, as I say, Lowpander have just rolled themselves into mid, and with this Uber advantage, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a mirrored situation with Lowpander rolling into second here.
Lowpander have an Uber advantage, but I mean, Se7en are a pretty good team. They can play around that. They can bait them out, potentially. They're working it slowly into the yard area for now. Getting the spam. Again, Se7en realise they just need to play passive, back off as it stands. But do they want to be in a position where they have to give up the second point? I mean, if they play it defensively, they can spam it out from the shutters, from the upper area. But the rotations is being made here. Lowpander are moving through the lunchbox area. They've got the spam, the damage has been put in. Drac has fallen to very, very weak amounts of HP. Has to back himself out of there. There will be this second cap going to Lowpander. However, that has bought enough time for Se7en to build up the Uber charge for the last defense.
Yeah, and it's also allowed Stalash the time to switch up and build up that sentry gun halfway. So we will see a sentry, and that's very, very hard to trade against. It means that you can't sack, and as I say that though, we do see Mookie in onto Raymond with the hops there, but no more sacks will be coming in after this due to that sentry, and also it means that you can't Uber trade really. Because you have to focus so much of that spam on the sentry and lead with your demo man, which isn't an ideal situation. So we see Mirosh here just on the defensive sniper, locking down that top sight line, and no one's going to be walking into him there. Despite Drac going down, Lowpander fairly to play.
It's a bit of a Monka-esque moment there when Mookie went in with the Market Gardener. I thought he was going to pick up Raymond. I thought he was going to pluck him out of the sky, and Yeah, Raymond gave him the jukes and the team was there, but imagine if he got that kill. That would just tilt me beyond belief. If your medic just dies to a market garden, that's like the dream setup, isn't it? For pushing forward. Like Lowpander, they've got a round, they're a round down, yeah, but they've got Se7en on the back foot, and all it takes is one small mistake from Se7en, and it will be almost curtains for them. Still, Lowpander, they've got to push into this. Look at this. It's the sentry gun, level 3, Falash the engineer main, building it up. He's got a dispenser on the go, and a fully charged body shot from Marosh will bring down Funds.
It's interesting that Funds keeps opting for the sniper rather than Mr. Epic. I mean, Mr. Epic is a really good sniper, and we've seen it. And as we see there, Marosh showing his sniping prowess, that he is the dominant sniper. He can stand in Stark's shoes. And Captain getting another frag, so 2-1 on the side of Se7en in terms of frags, but Hildreth looking to lock off that door. He knows Cadus won't have sticky traps there as he is dead. So just looking to pressure forward a little bit. Cadus still down, but should be up shortly. Uber's fall's kind of low, but again, it's just a game of snipers at the moment, Bren.
Yeah. What's it going to take now? I mean, a medic pick obviously is going to initiate either one of these teams here, but what else do they need? What's a pick that's worth going on? Demo men? Talk to me here, Dolly. Talk to me.
Well, Cadus just went down, and they didn't even look like they wanted to move. I mean, they did lose two frags in the process, so they're just not looking too sharp in what they can do. But Drak has fallen, and Mookie has used that to enter his way in on the sneaky spy. He sees everything on the side of Se7en. He sees their entire defense. So now he knows the holes that can be abused. He knows where people are playing, and he's looking to get a backstab here onto Raymond.
So sneaky. I mean, they could potentially. I mean, if Uber moves in at the right time and pops it off, they've got Raymond's positioning. If Mookie bides his time as well, he's there. He's waiting. He's a little CCTV camera with legs here, isn't he? He can see it all. Big brother is watching you.
If even if he saps the sentry and takes it down, maybe stabs the engineer as well, there's going to be a sniper up and one down for Se7en, and that is the perfect opportunity to trade. The sentry's down, the sniper can't do barely anything in the trade, and the Lash calling that a spy's around here, so
Mookie,
again with the back players.
Wow,
and he's
what
going
are you
back.
doing, Mookie?
Yeah, he gets scared by the voice line. That is some psychological warfare there, if I've ever seen it, bro.
Falash knew there was a spy that was being ran. I mean, it's almost the default Lowpander play. They switch Mookie to the spy. It's actually very reminiscent of what Full Tilt used to do way back, even before I-58. They used to rely a lot on spy, and they were making a conscious effort to move Falash onto the sniper to try and throw things out into disarray a little bit. But look at this position that Mookie's made his way out onto. Oh. What? What?
I don't even know, because Drak is watching that angle. Like, how did he walk past him?
How did he get on there? How did he get past Drak? He just walked past him. That was ridiculous.
He's gonna uncloak.
This is like...
And here he comes.
Mookie,
There's no way.
Mookie,
There's no way.
what?
There's no way. That's the best play I've ever seen.
Please, Mookie. Please. That is disgusting. No way. He serves onto the pipe. He gets the god stab. That is ridiculous. If Lowpander don't clinch this out, Dolly, I don't know what even TF2 is anymore. Drak falls, they're all dead, they're all dying, the respawns are not there, and they are going to claim a round. What is that?
That is such a creative play from Mookie. He sneaks his way onto the pipe and just uncloaks, gets behind Raymond, abuses those holes, and what a stab, what a capitalization from Lowpander. And this is going to stand them instead for picking up this mid, but we do see Mookie on the heavy.
I think I'm done, Dolly. I think I'm spent. I'm finished. That was disgusting. The surf, the drift, the rotations, the backstab, everything. It just played perfectly into his hand. And they're finding the kills regardless of it. Hildreth falls immediately. No doubt about Raymond is going to be the counteract to that. Uber was into the backline in this mid at least. Still, anyone's game. 7 minutes on the board for both these teams.
I don't think they've seen him. Drak is behind. He has limited health, but as I say, the element of surprise is big here. And Mookie isn't looking the direction that he wants. Yeah, Drak is coming in onto Crayon, but only hits one successful rocket there. And Heavy, it's going to be interesting to see how they use this moving forward. It didn't work last time, but that Heavy on that mid just shut down Captain's high bomb. and it's so hard to deal with if you're trying to trade back onto your medic after Raymond goes down. It's so hard to get onto Crayon if there's just that heavy on the high ground shutting your bombs down. You can barely take any ground off it, and we do see a heavy for this last push as well. 50% advantage on the side of Crayon, and it's going to be a heavy the sentry fight in terms of our classes, and we do have Mirage on the sniper.
Can I just propose something here? Imagine if Se7en lose. And the Uber charges come in, Dolly. The question is there. If Se7en lose this round, it is potentially the tilt factor. A bit of a beef there with the... Whoa, what's Crayon doing? Hello? Crayon? He's taking a lot of damage. They still want to make this push happen. They've got 2 picks off the back of it. Mookie ends up going down to Mara. Still the sentry gun causing a world of hurt for them. They can bring it down. Hildrift will go down again. 4 down for either side. And the push is dead in the water.
Yeah, they just pushed in on that right side. They got so much room, but it's the classic age-old story of Granary. There's just something to deal with that you haven't accounted for, and that sentry was just the telltale of that fight. Just takes down 2 players, and really good positioning of that sentry from Drak. And Uber's still up on this banner. He must have built it up soonish, but Se7en looking to push out, and we do see Mookie on the spy. But even Uber situation again, Bren.
Banner's going to be used here. Inside of Lowpander, they want to move in off the back of it. Cadus eats a ton of damage. The Ubercharge is going to come out from both the teams at roughly the same time. They have infiltrated into the back as well. Mookie's still on spy, might I remind you. Searching for backstabs. He drops down, misses the stab. Damage is done by Maros. He brings him down. 2 picks for Se7en. And they are going to be looking to go off the back of it, potentially, maybe. Yes, they are. Finally, the movements occur in the yard area as Captain is going to lead the charge of the rest of his team. And Se7en looking to take a bit of damage, take a bit of territory.
Yeah, and they just kind of bought time for that stab, but it didn't come in. And he'll just take down Hirosh, so that is going to stunt every opportunity for Se7en to push. And they're looking to abuse the flank on side of Lowpander, but Ubers does get trapped in by the stickies. Mr. Epic going to clear those. And so much spam being traded, but Hildreth on this right-hand side just looking to move forward with his team. And they blow the banner to get that extra resistance moving through these tiny chokes. And they're just looking to try and frag Cadus, who's a bit overextended. They're just walking forward here, Bren.
Wow. Goodbye, Ubers. He gets destroyed by the sticky traps there of Cadus. The Uber charge was still popped off by Raymond, and they haven't actually managed to get anything out of it. So it has worked out a better trade for Lowpander in the end. As Crayon, as I mentioned, still holding onto his Uber charge. They're going to be waiting. And the call is made, I believe, to go into the left-hand side through the lunchbox area. See if they can make any damage, put the work in potentially. And Se7en are just playing super passive. They don't want to be going anywhere near this. The point will get played, but realistically,
but look at Drak.
Oh, Cadus, where did he get that frag? Was that
Drak's
the upper
coming
area?
down. Drak's gone in onto Crayon, gets that force there, and
wow.
I mean, that's going to buy so much time that Uber is going to be so poor now. Thalash already up on the heavy, Captain locking down that right side, and what a play from Drak to almost save his team, especially with the time getting so low on the score.
It's actually very impressive how they managed to turn that around, even with the Uber disadvantage. Cadus playing the upper area, picked up a quick frag, backed off in the nick of time, and Drak, as you mentioned, moved in. Got the force out of them, but are they going to find anything else? That one pick onto Marosh might turn things into their favour. Still in control of the second point. Cadus is happy to just spam in the stickies and do a bit of damage. Just fend them off for now. I remind you, 2 minutes and 45 seconds remaining on the clock. And it is currently 1-1. The pressure really on Lowpander. I mean, if you're in Lowpander's shoes, why not just wait until the timer goes all the way down and do a last-ditch push, not to risk any potential, backwards and forwards. Make it go to the golden cap, worst case scenario.
I mean, I think it's probably wise to at least find an entry first, because they will have that whole ordeal with the sentry again, but Hildreth falls to Mirage, and so does Mookie, and it'll be interesting to see how Se7en react to this. Uber's looking for a frag on the sniper to at least buy them some time, but that's 3 casualties for Lowpander, and Se7en looking to cap up this point. It's still even Uber situation, as the time is ticking down, but could we see it? Could we see Se7en move forward off the back of this?
2 minutes. Granary. It's been done before. There's a reference in here that I'm certainly missing, but absolutely right. As it stands, though, Se7en are just waiting patiently. They don't have the Uber advantage. They don't have a pick advantage, the player advantage. They can't particularly make movements off the back of it and try and wiggle their way in. There's only 1 minute and 40 seconds on the line. I mean, What are they waiting for? They wait until the absolute minimum amount of time for them to potentially cap last? What even is that? I'd give it a minute.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
a bit less than that.
judging how questionable Raymond's and Crayon's Ubers have been, and like all the trades, there's always frags going left and right, and you really need to roll forward with all 6 of your players to really capitalize off, you know, every point and keep rolling it. If you're just losing players here and there, I mean, very, you know, uncharacteristic of Raymond to have such poor Ubers, but in these last few fights, they've been, you know, kind of shaky. And it's questionable whether Se7en can move off this. I mean, there's only 56 seconds left, so they are playing for the golden cap. But who does the golden cap favour, Bren? That is the question. If it does go to golden cap, which it's looking very likely, these mids have been on the side of Lowpander 2-1, but will Se7en have an answer to the heavy on the mids? But Mookie falls.
That was an attempt onto the flank there. That was Marish and Drak that shut that bad boy down, but no plays being made by Se7en. They back off almost immediately, waiting patiently on their own second point. With 27 seconds remaining, they realise it's pretty much Lowpander that have to go for the all-in push here. There's no way that Se7en could make a push all the way to the last, so definitely the ball in Lowpander's court, and they've got to make movements now. 15 seconds going down, the overcharges come out, but Caden immediately picks off Mr. Epic. 10 seconds remaining, nobody's getting onto the point at all, fully blocked up. And they are going to be playing for that golden cap. Map number 1 of the ETF2L season 27. That's right, 27 seasons, week number 7. What a game so far.
Wow, I mean, yeah, as I say, it just comes down to the Uber trades. We usually see Marosh on the sniper, so that's a hindering factor into how much they can roll off the better Ubers. You know, Crayon's Ubers have been fairly shaky as well. Some, you know, both teams not really capitalizing off the Uber advantages very well. You know, you've seen a few failed last pushes from Lowpander. We've seen a few odd trades here and there where they try and buy a stab for Mookie and things. But they, you know, their team fights without the Ubers and capitalizing off frags have been really, really good, especially on the side of Lowpander, and Se7en doing a very good job of that as well, classically. But coming into a golden cap now, as I say, it's the story of the mid. That's how golden caps go. And with Se7en losing most of the mids, 2/3 of the mids, what do you say to that, Bren? Who do you think will? Because Granary, classically, you know, whoever wins the mid wins the round. And
I mean, what do you do against Mookie when he's running that heavy on the mid? Because that shut them down at least on the final mid fight of that game. They weren't really anticipating that on the side of Se7en. And it didn't really work out into their favour when they tried to play around there. Previously, they rely a lot on Drak, I guess, as part of his bombs with Cadus, with Captain, I suppose. A lot of coordination between the two, making calling and set plays, but yeah, definitely thrown a bit of a wrench into their plans. Why have the players left the server? Come on, boys, what's going on? What's kicking off here?
Okay. So they are reloading the map apparently, but I don't know. I honestly can't call it here nor there. The heavy is such a determining factor. I mean, it's such an off-the-wall strategy that it's hard to deal with. You can't... Typically, the way that you deal with mids failing is that you change up how your soldiers play, how they initiate, the timings in which they go. But you can't do that. Your soldiers almost immediately get shut down if they try and do any sort of bomb aggressively. So, you know, that heavy is such a rock on that top area, and especially because, you know, Drak and Captain are, you know, what are considered the main stars of this roster. It's really hard for them to not, you know, when your star players aren't performing because they're getting shut down by some odd strategy, it's really, really hard to know what to do next. I mean, Cadus is the brain of the game. He might call some commitment on the left side, or maybe playing really passive, waiting for Lowpander to make the first mistake. But, I mean, it's really hard to do that on Granary mids because everything seems to move so fast, and there's not a lot of vision, so you can't always see what your opponents are doing. And it's so hard to determine where your mistakes are happening, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a tricky one. It's a toughie, but we shall see if they turn it around. I can guarantee you right now, Cadus is talking about the possible mids that they're going to be employing on the side of Lowpander. a lot of opportunities. Going to be talking about what to do in that scenario. As they got a bit of time as the map is reloading. I'm just waiting for the players to get back on. But map number 1 has been a slobber knocker. Any set players in your mind that have stood out so far? I mean, as it stands, it seems reasonably even. Lowpander, I mean, is it fair to say it feels that their play is a little bit more sloppier, but
yeah,
a few plays by Mookie definitely turning up and turning it around for them in the end, making it quite an even scoreline. But all in all, I'd say Se7en are definitely playing the cleaner TF2. Definitely a lot less overextensions and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mirosh is doing a really good job as a stand-in, especially on that sniper role. But the thing is, he's not Stark, and I don't mean that in skill level-wise. I mean, there definitely is that factor, but Stark likes to play that loose style, you know, where he's flanking, and he's, you know, initiating and off-classing. And Mirosh hasn't tailored himself to that style, you know, he's tailored himself to his own style, which is expected. And when you have a stand-in, it's really, really hard to employ that strategy because, you know, Mirosh doesn't know how to, you know, abuse the holes like Stark does. So, it could be a whole different story if Stark was here. But Mirosh, you know, as I say, doing a very, very good job of filling his shoes. But as I say, that role isn't there. So when you don't have your star player flanking and, you know, abusing these holes and playing that really loose style, it can throw you off because all the strategies that you've talked about before kind of don't work with that missing piece, you know?
Well, we're looking at the relative frags by zone now. Apparently, we got a new... It's not even newfangled technology. I was about to say newfangled technology, but it's been around for a while. I remember peering into these. It's been a while since I looked into them, though. That's the thing, and as you can see, that the makeup of relative frags by zone is relatively even across the board. Se7en are coming out on top only by a sliver there, as you can see, just +1 net frags on the side of Lowpander's own half. So, a very even game between them. The mid fights predominantly won there, frag-wise. Fun's coming out on top of the free advantage, I suppose you could say, when it comes to his kills across the board, but... Yeah, all in all, could be anyone's game here. Absolutely anyone's game.
Yes, indeed, Bren. And I think, you know, it's not often that we see Raymond slipping up. You know, sometimes I think it's just down to poor coordination. He's probably not used to playing with Cadus. I mean, Cadus has been playing for a number of weeks now. Still, it's really hard getting that coordination, especially, you know, how complex Cadus likes to, you know, develop these strategies. So it's really, you know, hard to deal with getting that new player and getting, you know, back to the days of old. I mean, Cadus never actually played with Raymond, so it's, you know, you do wonder if they actually have that synergy to begin with.
That is the trouble. I mean, that can go a certain. I mean, you could argue that to a certain degree, but Cadus has been coaching Se7en for such a long time. He knows exactly the ins and outs. He knows, I mean, from just speaking to him as well, just in person about Se7en and whatnot, and coaching them and his experience with it, he definitely knows the ins and outs and limitations of a lot of his teammates. So he's going to be, in some ways, I'd expect it to mean that he is better suited than it would be to have someone like, I don't know, Ali on the side or Spud even in the past. But yeah, it's a hard one to tell, and I mean, obviously, Cadus with his injury doesn't exactly help him in the best of circumstances. I think that limits his playstyle. I think it's gotten a lot better recently, so he can practice a lot more, but it's obviously still not ideal. But regardless of that, we're going into it. It's the Golden Cap. It's starting, Dolly. Get excited. My voice still has not recovered from when Mookie got that backstab, by the way. I don't know if you can tell, but it is going to be mid-fight number 1 here. Dolly, take it away.
Yeah, we do see Mookie on this heavy, so same strategy, same old ways of Lowpander, really looking to shut down these soldiers. Very tentative play on the side of Se7en, not even bombing Captain yet, but Captain is looking to go. He's hungry and he's coming in onto Ubers, does get taken down with a lovely rocket from Ubers, and this heavy is still just outputting damage. The passive play is hurting them in Lowpander's favor, and Cadus just going to take an arrow, but he's so caught out, and Mr. Epic just pounding forward here.
What a disaster. Honestly, the fact that they just lost that so handedly and almost no players going down here for the side of Lowpander, that ain't going to be helping in their favor. I mean, they would have had to have made the call. They would have had to have talked about it. like the fact that Mookie is known to run the heavy to mid, and they had to play around it accordingly. They tried to play it slow pace, but Drak got picked off early on, and then with that one-man advantage, it meant that Lowpander were in the driving seat, and now they absolutely are. Se7en are on the last point. They're building up the Uber, the Sentry, I should say, and they're certainly building up the Uber charge as well to the best of their abilities. They've even got Maros just running that very defensive sniper, ready to just switch out a moment's notice, but it is Lowpander. They are the people to watch. They're hanging around the top area.
It is all on Marosh's shoulders. He needs to get a pick during this Uber, but here we go. The Uber is coming out onto Drak. Lovely dodging out of him, and the Sentry is still putting out a lot of damage. Marosh still with a sightline on his players as well. The Uber has failed, and they're just looking so passive. They're trying to reload, but Crayon goes down. The stand-in pulling it out for his team, takes down 2 players, and Marosh has single-handedly saved his team there.
How'd you beef that? How'd you beef that when you got the Uber ad? I know Granary last is quite a long point. There's a lot of time between the fact that you can get onto the back lines of the players, but the fact that they ended up losing that one, I mean, they went at the upper area, right, and they just didn't spot the Sentry. I don't know. Question marks raised in my head. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do much better, but at the end of the day, these are supposed to be the top level of gameplay, and that was firmly in the category of big beef, I should say.
Yeah, and this heavy is still in play. Just having this sandwich in his back pocket really helps to, you know, almost play like a flank player. We see him in this garage on his own, and Se7en are just wasting so much ammo on this heavy, and he keeps eating the sandwich. You know, perhaps Lowpander could capitalize off this in a team fight. If you're wasting ammo on a heavy, you can really capitalize when they're reloading and when those reload waves come in. But we do see slight advantage on the side of Raymond. Cadus looking very passive. I don't think they want to go off this, especially not into a heavy where that after Uber situation favors the heavy massively. So I think we're just going to see a Granary stalemate here, but interesting to see how Se7en are going to deal with this. Very close call there.
Classic Granary, eh? Stalemating out, 100% Uber on either side, nobody willing to really make the plays where they count, and it's a lot to play for on either line. I mean, essentially, as you mentioned before this game kicked off, both these teams are in playoffs. They are guaranteed to be in that spot, but it's a battle for the first seed. It's going to be the winner of this first golden cap is going to have a large advantage to think about, large opening for them to capitalize off.
Just to think, like, if Lowpander gets that first seed, it doesn't seem like a lot, but maps, like certain maps, favor Lowpander's style so well, and you know, if they have the control of the maps that are played, and they can increase that tilt factor and that, you know, off the wall play style, and you know, play around funds and give him what he needs, I think really that they could, you know, take the grand finals if the maps go in their way, and we see Captain falling there. So that could be an entry, especially for Mookie on the spy.
Alright, apparently Lowpander can't get first seed anymore, and Mookie's picked off Drak as well. So, I don't know what they're playing for fun, I guess. Just for the good sportsmanship. I mean, if I was playing on either of these teams, I'd call it a day, you know. You just gotta watch some television, watch some Breaking Bad, if you haven't seen it already. Great show, by the way. But yeah, they're still putting in the damage. They are going to be popping off the Uber charge on the side of Se7en. Very late pop there by Lowpander, not getting the maximum value that Se7en really wanted to out of their own Uber charge. The second capture point will get popped off for them. Uber tries to go for the kill to Raymond, but the team is there to respond, and they bring him down in a flash.
Yeah, and Lowpander crumbling. They tried so hard to get onto Raymond after that Uber, but he just baits the players forward, and Thalash capitalizing in his true fashion. 3 yard for Se7en, and they have even Ubers looking to build it up, but you know, they're looking dominant. They're looking like they had a shaky mid, but they're looking very, very solid here.
Man, oh man, it is still even on either sides. On either side, I should say. 100% Uber going to be built up. Crayon does have a very slight advantage, but nothing to work off in the slightest, and they are going to be holding on to their own Ubers. The overheal is also going to be coming out thick and fast for them. No plays being made. Classic Granary second. Are they going to be moving in? I mean, who do you want to be sending in for the sack attempt here?
I think you could try with the Mookie spy. It has been successful as we've seen, but you wonder if it's and Mookie has died, so this is going to open up a world of off-gassing for him. He can choose any of the 9, apart from the ones that are locked. But he can. He can show up, and he has opted for the soldier again, so very tentative play off of Lowpander. They don't want to try and make any flashy plays, and I think they're just waiting for Se7en to make a mistake, but as I say, very uncharacteristic of Se7en to make a mistake on a defense.
Valash is just checking for the off classes. He is permanently based in spawn, constantly switching the classes around, just waiting to see if anybody's there. If it was up to me, I'd say we call it quits. Captain picks up a frag onto Mookie. If it was up to me, I'd say we call it quits and then just have it decided by heavy fist fighting. Just kick it off. I'm sure that's a rule somewhere in ETF2L. Do these people really want to be sat here all day? Does Se7en? I mean, if this game doesn't count anymore, which it doesn't, does it not? There's no decider of the. I mean, Se7en are guaranteed to get first seed. I guess they want to win it outright just because of bragging rights. They don't want to say they lost the map to Lowpander. They don't want to say they dropped the map to Lowpander. So I guess that's why they're still carrying it on. But question marks being raised in my head.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that both these teams are like wasting, especially Lowpander, who are so dependent on set strategy and these weird off the wall strats where they've kind of talked about it and what they're going to do and how they're going to play. Mookie has died again on the spy, so it is just the Mookie show at the moment, waiting for him to do something. They do have a banner involved, but as I say, I mean, it's just going to be so hard for anyone to break these chokes and find a crack in the defense.
It is a struggle for sure. They're starting to run a few off classes. Valash on the sniper is eating a ton of spam, and Hildreth will claim that kill. Not really enough to work off. Lowpander getting a bit antsy though, a bit excited over it. Just roaming around the garage area. And they are not going to be making any movements. Mookie, however, let's talk about him. He's on spy again. Where is he? There he is. He's in garage, just hiding in the corner.
You do wonder, like, Se7en are surely going to expect this, right? I mean, it's kind of amazing that he's made his way in, but what's
Metal Gear
happening,
Solid exclamation mark sound needs to be played. Mookie dies.
How do they keep doing that?
Well, they just read into it. Lowpander always switch Mookie to the spy off class. It's the weakness that Full Tilt had before they started putting Valash on sniper so much, was that they were relying so much on spy picks, and it's a complete detriment for your team. As you can see, them Grail goes down. Valash rotates round, slams him. I've got you in my sights, and he just bangs him out. That's well out of order. And Captain as well is styling on the back lines as he hits up a nutty little air shot there onto Funds. It's a disaster. They're all dead. It's gone. Let's see how many Dota 2 casting quotes you can come out with.
I mean, that is unbelievable. I mean, that is in true Stark fashion. We've talked about him being missing, but I mean, Valash, really using his inner Stark there, creeps around on the right side, and in that tiny area just gets so close and instantly headshots Crayon. And look at Lowpander, they don't know how to respond, they're just crumbling. But Raven falls, that could be the holding.
Could be big for them.
The turning point. Yeah.
One player on the point. Can they bring down Ubers? That's going to be the question. They get the cap. They're already moving on to the last point. The spawners are not there, Dolly, and it will be Se7en who clinch out the golden cap. That is some Team Fortress 2, baby. Valash, oh boy, he hits the heads. He hits them when they count.
Valash just single-handedly won the round for his team. Like, no one knew how to reply. Emotions were so running high, I can imagine, on Lowpander's side. They're scrambling to make a defense. You don't expect your medic to drop in that situation. You're probably planning around your push rather than what happens if you fail. But really, that was really good capitalization off from Se7en. We can't ignore that. But what a play from Valash! That is probably one of the most nut slings I've ever seen.
It's a very nutty shot indeed. Reminds me of God, who were they playing? Falash when he was on I-58. It was on Gully Wash, and the camera, like the production PC, stopped working, so it was just a radio cast of me and Sideshow, and he hit like one of the like it's just a classic Stark shot, you know, coming out of Riverside onto the last that little gap where the medic's head's just pointing through, and he managed to pick him off. It was filthy. It's just making plays like that is crazy. Like you just don't expect it. You just do not expect it. I don't know what's going on in the chat. People are just spamming the wrong clips. Spamming the wrong stuff all over the place. People getting timed out for 5 seconds. Nightbot is savage. But it's map number 2 we're going to be moving into, and it is Process. What are your thoughts? Are you praying it's going to be a bit faster paced? Because that was quite slow paced to begin with.
Yeah. But, like, just to think that that was one map, it involves so much. And, like, considering this map, this fixture doesn't actually mean anything, it's interesting, as I said before, that Lowpander are wasting their strategies. Like, I mean, I'm sure Se7en know about them. I mean, it's not hard. Everyone knows by now how Lowpander play, but to actually see the finer details of, I mean, we might not be playing Granary or Process on playoffs, but you know it's definitely possible. And to see how Lowpander play, and you know who their stars are, who their where their weaknesses are, it's really you don't want to be gifting that to Se7en because you know that Cadis will pick up on it. And it's interesting that they're, I mean, we always like to see good gift too, but it's interesting that they're trying so hard and trying to show all their strategy and use every trick in the book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just rewatched the clip because I didn't see it from Falash's perspective. That is, like, I overuse the word disgusting quite a lot, but that is just a shot that you just, Christ on a bike. That's like 99 times out of 100. Jesus. Ridiculous. Like, what? Speechless at it. Speechless. Someone ban Gemm. Get him out. He's spamming in the chat. What's he spamming? Falash. Falash. Is it nut at the end of it? I can't quite make it out. It's just Falash, isn't it? It's just the word Falash. I'm going to spam it as well.
I don't know. Like, Gemm's just having the time of his life. He's been sat here watching stalemates for half an hour, and he's just looking for some stimulation. He just wants something. He just needs to see people again. He's been stuck in his cave watching stalemates.
Casting Granary stalemates, it just turns your brain to mush. You just want to turn into a Twitch retard and just start spamming the chat. I love it. Man, what is cracking? Can these gamers begin? Live in 90, I've heard from production in my ear. Live, Gemm, is that 90 seconds counting down? Correct? Affirmative? That is right. Tango down. We're going live, apparently. It's probably about 75 seconds for now, but man, Se7en clinching out the golden cap just with a pretty rapid turnaround. Thought it was all over after that initial mid, but no. Now we're going to Process.
You do have to wonder, like, how flustered both these teams are, especially Lowpander, like, thinking you're going to win and just making so many, like, good decisions and, like, such a close map where you, like, think that you're going to win and you've touched victory, like, so many times. It's really draining. Like, even, in the lower divisions, people put so much heart into the game, and it must be very hard when you're thinking about all these complex strategies and you're at the top of the game and you really want to win. It's so demoralizing when you lose in such a close fashion. So it'll be interesting to see if they can be invigorated for this next map, but I don't think it is. I think it's going to be curtains for Lowpander. I think Se7en are just going to roll forward with Cadis. I mean, Hildreth hasn't been showing up all too much, and Cadis is just going to outfrag him on this map.
We're live. Apparently, we're live. We're not live. Are we live? We're going in, Dolly. It's beginning. Map number 2 of season 27 of ETF2L, week number 7, and I'm having a whale of a time. I don't know about you, but Lowpander, that is. Did they even roll out, or did they just walk to mid?
Yeah, I mean, they're so passive because they have Mookie on the sniper, but they're playing so passive around it. But Captain falls, and it could be a mate play. Se7en just looking so passive as a result now. The tables have turned, and suddenly, off the back of that sniper, they spotted him, and they just back out when Captain falls. But, wow, Mookie with the scare factor there.
Boy oh boy, Mookie on sniper is something to be scared of. Se7en had to give him the respect he deserved, and the shots are being popped off. Not finding any angles that they need. Se7en still holding on for now on the second point. The captain now going to be leaping forward, puts in a bit of damage, just forces them out. Now Uber is in that sewer area, has to back himself out of there. Does not want to get called out of position. Oh man, let's see the gameplay.
Yeah, and luckily this map isn't as stalematy. There's a lot of entry for snipers and things. Heavy obviously wouldn't work as well on map, especially on mid. You know, such a long rollout. Might as well have a soldier, honestly, because of all the good, you know, initiation plays that can happen on process. There's so many ways to bomb, and a sniper is the same. There's so many angles that you can look from, and just install fear in your opponent, and that's exactly what we saw on that mid. But a heavy, not so sure. I don't think that would work as well. You wouldn't get any impact there. And speaking of impact, Mr. Epic making some taking down captain, and then they're looking to move through on this sewer area.
Tasty frags, but not enough to push off. The sewer area has been taken up by Lowpander. Are they going to be searching for an opportunity? Drac just about drifts himself out of there, has to wait for the heals to go down to the low ground for now. And we will see. No plays being made as it stands. But yeah, I don't know why the timer's broken. It's not broken for me, actually. I'm holding tab and I can see it perfectly fine. 27 minutes and 35 seconds remaining. Maybe it's our producer. Hello? Production? Fix the timer. Fix it. Come on, the people, they want to know.
Yeah, they want to know how long is left of this
Of this stalemate.
Of this stalemate, yeah. I was gonna say. Captain bombing around the corner, looking for something, but Raymond is in a really smart position. I've never seen a medic like stand there for the entirety of the stalemate. Usually they're moving forward, tanking their players at the choke.
Wow.
The lash falls, and Drac in return takes down the sniper. So no sniper threat for Se7en. They could peek this choke more aggressively now, and that's exactly what we're seeing. But the lash has fallen, and it'll be interesting to see if he does come up on the sniper.
I want to see some damage being done. I want to see some frags coming in. I want to see Gemm do the production work properly. Slave, fix it. It's already fixed, I'm assuming. I apologize. I do love Gemm. He's stepped up the production, might I add, to everyone who doesn't know the behind the scenes. Nobody wants to produce. Nobody wanted to do it. And Gemm just comes out of nowhere like the Dark Knight on a murky evening in Gotham and just, I will do it. That's his voice. That's how he sounds like.
One thing that I've noticed is that Mookie is on spy, but Thalash knows this. He was checking in spawn, and now he knows that there's a spy. So this is gonna be really, really hard for Mookie to make an entry. You know, the whole thing about spy, the reason why spy works to get picks is the surprise factor, and when that hasn't, you know, when that isn't there, it's almost impossible to get anything done.
That's what I mean. They keep relying on the spy, Mookie spy, and Se7en, they clocked onto it. They should know it at least. I mean, it's a very rare occasion that they should be getting a pick from it, as you saw before. Like, Mookie had to go above and beyond as a spy and make an absolutely crodonculous play. That's not even a word, but I'm trying to think of the word crocodile and ridiculous at the same time. Mookie is... Oh! He's so close! He's dangerously... Flash is on his head! He's so close! Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Mookie! No, no, no.
But captain has fallen, so would you take that trade? Would you take Mookie for captain? I sure would. So it'll be interesting to see if Lowpander move off this, but Uber's falls.
Yeah, that's a man advantage. Is that playable? Se7en seem to think so. They're going off the back of it. No, are they? Are they? Are they? Are they? Are they really though? They really know, or are they just baiting me? They're just baiting me. They just want to hold on to second for this entire game and make it go to a golden cap again. Can we get a round reset, please? Can we get another mid fight? How long? My timer is actually genuinely broken. How long is it until it round resets? 5.5 minutes.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a stalemate, especially with the way that these teams have been playing. But Drac has fallen, and another entry for Mookie to sack. But Raymond, too good with those dodges. Uber's looking to build up that banner, So I reckon the banner could be really good on this map. Perhaps the conch would be better, right? Because this choke isn't as small, and you don't take so much spam upon entry. So maybe the conch would help you get to that high ground and really take a fruitful trade. But Uber's electing with that battalion's backup, taking a lot of spam, doesn't want to drop that, and it'll be interesting to see how they move off of this.
This is the biggest challenge, you know, in casting Team Fortress 2. And it's casting this. Eventually, Mookie. It's gonna.
Track is on fire.
They get the force. Something happens. Something's happening. What? Dolly. They get the force of the spam.
That's unbelievable. And Drac is on the spy, so that 100% disadvantage with a spy. Drac is gonna have to pull out the world and a half for Se7en to make a play.
Drac's on spy? Is he just checking for off classes? Was he in?
No, he's in. He's on mid, on the point. Yeah.
He's deep. This is surprising.
Look
All
at
right, show me your best Mookie impression. They're not going to expect this. This is the trouble you run into when you run spy so often. Drac is Crayon is good. Can I get a round of applause in the chat, please, for our boy Drac and his dad, Midnight Mick? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, this game is drawing my sanity. Man.
Oh my god. And wow, Drac pulling out for his team there, getting the stab eventually. And as you said, completely unexpected play. Fighting fire with fire. Captain Raymond dropped.
I don't know what's going on anymore, Dolly. I don't know what's happening.
I have no clue either. Cadus
is having to pop off on the last point. I don't know what's going on. Drag's still on spy. Crayon's taking a 1v1 on the last. What's going on? What's happening? What have you done to Team Fortress 2? What's happened? I'm so confused. That entire engagement was just one long, I don't know.
Morosh coming up on the sniper, and Mookie on the spy. I mean, there's really not much you can say about Bren. I mean, it's but Morosh hitting a headshot there. Nice headshot onto Ubers. Ubers having a relatively hard time this fixture, kind of getting picked off sometimes, but he has been a playmaker on the flip side. Captain looking to move forward.
Mookie's on spy again.
Yeah.
He's
what if it
looking
works?
for. It might. You never know. This game's got a certain degree of madness that I hadn't really anticipated. But he is there. He's waiting. He's crouched. He is the predator on process last. And he is changing his disguise. He's looking for the opportunity. He's got a lot on his plate to work against. He's got the sentry to work around. They gotta anticipate this. Raymond's movement has been honed from hours and hours of 1v12ing against Highlander spy mains. He knows the patterns. He knows which way to move. I mean, right now Mookie is he's playing the CCTV camera role, right? Giving the information for a sack attempt from the rest of his team, because Lowpander, they're getting in position. There's no way he's... No.
Mookie just sitting there in one. Does get spotted by Talash again.
Okay.
What is happening, by the way? What? How does that happen every time? Mookie just having the worst day of his life, getting found every time he goes invisible. This is very odd. But just while there's some slow time.
Oh, Drag's on spy.
Oh, Drag is on
Drag's on spy. Drag's on spy. The deco. Oh no. Didn't work out. Tried to go for the pistols on Crayon. Bold move. Very bold move.
One of the strategies that I've seen Lowpander do, which is really innovative, is like they use they get a conch, they get a battalion's backup, they blow them at the same time through a choke. They use that to get the force onto the medic. They back out because of the speed boost and the health regen and the resistant. They completely back out. They don't have to force, and then they have full Uber advantage. And particularly, you could maybe see it here if even just with the battalion's backup, if Mookie wants to sap that sentry gun, then there's no sentry to deal with. They can get that force as Raymond's really close, and because of that resistance, they can kind of back up for free, and then just get a much better Uber, at least, if not a full Uber advantage. So
How is
perhaps
Mookie?
something to employ.
How's Mookie still on spy? This is reminiscent of when Sideshow just went spy 3 lives in a row. He's in the choke. He spots out that they do have Marosh on the sniper. They realise this. The spam is coming in thick and fast from Se7en. They want to be spy checking all over the place. Mookie just infiltrates the back lines now. He's waiting. He knows the sentry's there. Drax pre-fire in the corners. Raymond his movement is random, unpredictable. It's like the final level in a game of a sneak-based AI RPG. Possibly Thief. I'm not too sure. I've never really played the series, but I do know there's a lot of sneaking. Oh, Drax finds the rocket!
By the way, what?
They,
That happens
they
every
know.
time.
Yeah, but they know they're constantly. Whenever they're in the scenario, they always know that Mookie defaults to the spy every time. Marosh, he's going for it. He's going for it. No. Crayon's positioning is too perfect. Too perfect.
When it gets to that point where you're getting found every time you go on spy, I think the surprise factor has. That ship has sailed.
Dolly, they're going in. Dolly, they're going.
We do see a banner.
The banner. Is it going to do anything? Drag dies? How does he die there? What? Lowpander, they want to move off this. They're rotating around, looking for opportunities. Sentry gun is going to get healed, but the stickies will bring it down. He'll just finally do his job. Does it justice? Captain falls. 3 down. Lowpander, are they doing it? Silent to fall. Liquid are doing it. The Uber charge has popped up. Are they going to defend this? Se7en are trying to do it. They're trying to defend it. The Uber's fade. Lowpander moving in. The air shot onto Cadus. Round number 1. It goes to Lowpander. I've been freed. Oh.
And that's just exactly how you gotta play it with those banners. I mean, they use it to get a pick. It's really hard for, even in such a small lobby, it's really hard for Se7en to retaliate because of that resistance on every single player. So you can't retaliate once they extend for a pick. And they just use it, they abuse the hole, and they just come in on that right side, take down the sentry, and cap it out. What a play from Lowpander, but we do see Mookie on the sniper to mid again.
Oh, Se7en going to make the same mistake. Uber is straight into the stratosphere. He gets 1 rocket onto Raven. That was a full 100 damage coming down, but 4 down. Lowpander are down and out. Crayon gets ran down. He's dead. He's in the dust. He's going to be decomposing for the next few days and sent straight to the back of the respawn queue. And I'm dying. Sorry, this game is just... it's doing me in.
Bren has contracted an illness from watching Lowpander play. That's a rich testament to the state of TFT. But Se7en, with a full Uber advantage, looking to move through this top PC. Classic area to push from, you can just lock so much down. Typically, Se7en playing their last pushes in 2 halves. They take over this left-hand side with Cadus jumping in, and here we go. He's going to jump in, gets a little bit denied by that sentry and that heavy. They've taken over the left-hand side completely, and now once the Uber fades, they're going to re-establish position, and they're going to get that focus fire in. But that's going to be hard with Captain and Flash falling. Uber's falls as a trade, but that heavy is just too strong. That slowed movement.
Owns. He does. He just owns, man. He just got a 3K on the last point. That is ridiculous. Maros is still there, though. But it's a 1v3. No. No way. Stop. Okay. All right. Okay. What? Okay. He got away with far too much.
How did he even get to that position?
Much.
It's crazy. He could have gotten onto Crayon too, but it looks like Se7en passive play, kind of getting pounced on at the choke, and what has happened here? The Lash and Captain going behind for that back cap.
They almost got it.
Very nearly got it, and what a distraction play for Se7en. Not quite working out the way they wanted to, especially with Drac falling. 3 down on the side of Se7en. Big advantage for Crayon. They do want to move off this, but here comes Cadus in his classic fashion, flying it, but to no avail.
Has anyone told Cadus that Demo Man got nerfed about a few years back? Has anyone told him, or has he just jumped into the game? You're right, guys. I'm here to play. He's just been criticizing all these Demo Men, not knowing that the class has been nerfed all this time, you know? And realistically, all the things that he's done in the past has been much harder, but forget about that. Forget about me taking the piss out of Cadus. We've got a game to cast. The Uber charges are coming out. It's going to be an equal trade, but no casualties so far. At least Hildreth did fall early in the engagement. A lot of damage being put into Se7en here. One rocket will connect onto Falash as well, bringing them very, very low. Arrows have to be sent out. They're standing still, but 2 picks will mean the Se7en are definitely working their way in. And is this going to be enough, Dolly? Dolly, is it going to be enough?
Well, 2 soldiers down on the side of Lowpander. It's going to be really hard for them to take any high ground or, you know, jump into the fray. It's really hard, and we see, speaking of which, 2 soldiers bombing onto that right side in classic fashion, and Se7en are going to take them around on the back of that. And that's just typical last push from Se7en. They take over that left-hand side, they wait for the Uber to fade, they re-establish position, and then they just bomb 2 soldiers onto the right side. It's really, really hard to counter, especially when they have Uber advantage. And we see it there, proving its worth. And we see Mr. Epic now on the sniper.
Haha. Heavy weapons guy here. Bringing you the latest mid-fight as it's 1-1 currently on the final map. Damage is being done by both these teams. They're looking for opportunities. Mookie moves into the back. He's going to find his way into the enemy side as Captain does respond with a kill. Quick and easy onto Crayon. Now Raymond just needs to stay alive, stay nice and chipper. And he is still alive as it stands, but Mookie is there. They spot the positioning. Mookie very weak. Cadus trying to hit the pipes. Resorts to the stickies. We'll find it now. It's a 3v2. Drac has the rockets available. He's just whiffing his way around. I don't know what he's doing. He's just having a whale of a time. Finally is going to end up going down to Uber. Health pack picked up. Ubers could do this. He moves in. He wants the kill. Cadus gets headshot. A lot of damage put into them. Now the spawner's coming back in. How is this mid-fight still going? Lowpander want to take it forward. Mr. Epic on the sniper. The headshot's not quite connecting for him, but he's still doing the damage. Now Hildreth tries to do his best. Cadus impression doesn't work out. He gets bullied off. Crayon now might actually fall as the Uber charge comes in. He's on a sliver of HP. He backs out of there. Funds, meanwhile, is on the back lines. The health pack was picked up by Raymond, but Funds brings him down. Meanwhile, kills are happening. Lowpander turn it around, and they are going to win the mid. Ah! What?
That headshot onto Cadus sealed the deal. I mean, he had to reload. He was then on the low ground. Hildreth comes flying in, hits so much damage onto the Lash, and then Stark with just the not Stark. What am I talking about? Funds with the amazing play. Really smart to hide behind that rock. Takes down Raymond. And really good delay, really good messy fights and playing around those corners. But we do see a big Uber advantage. But still have a sniper on the side of Lowpander.
Oh man. You ever watched that video of Super Saiyan 3D? Where
No.
like Goku ascends to the Super Saiyan? That's how I feel Lowpander are right now. They got the Ubers. They're moving in. The sentry needs to go down. They need to clear the point. The sentry does fall, but the Uber charge is pretty much wasted. Anger, I'm not sure why people let me cast TF2 anymore. I don't know. Honestly, it's phenomenal. I don't know how they've let me get on the mic this many times, but headshots are popping off. Regardless of that, the damage has been put in by both these sides. Uber ends up going down. The market guard, it wasn't even a market guard and kill, I don't think. We can just beat down Raymond. It's ridiculous. And the last point is being capped up. Cadus has to run it in. It's one man against the world and he can't do it. Lowpander, another round. 2-1. Another one. Oh.
You wonder now if Lowpander are going to run away with this. I mean, Se7en looking fairly good at the start of the game. Really clinical pushes, but really good hits from Funds and Mr. Epic, and playing off those messy team fights, really disrupting Se7en soldiers, and they can't get as much work as they would like to. But Se7en soldiers, speaking of which, had a really good last mid. So let's see if they can do it again, Bren.
What are the traits, the symptoms of dehydration? Major dehydration. Because I think that's occurring. Me? Was that production or was that Dolly that just said that? That was you. I am the symptom of dehydration. I think it might be the case, but Lowpander have lost 4, maybe even 5. It probably will be. Funds is trying to take a little tango there into the side area with both the scouts. Doesn't work out. And Mr. Epic is destroyed. He's made into mincemeat. I don't know what that little but was, but I mean, Se7en is just, it's a backwards and forwards engagement. It's anyone's game. And with the Uber advantage, Dolly, I mean, if Se7en don't clinch this one out, I'll be very surprised.
Yeah, and there is 9 minutes left, so very close game, and when that time starts going into triple digits, it's really, really hard to make good decisions because you're playing around the time at that point. You're feeling the squeeze, and you know that will affect both these teams. As we see the same push happening again. Cadis flying in, locking off that left spawn. Now he's just going to focus the right. We should see some bombs happening from Se7en after they reload. But Fonz is up on the heavy, putting out a lot of work, and no health really going down for Lowpander, but Uber's falls, and this could pave the way for Lash to come onto the pot, but he's just going to get chased down by Mr. Epic. And wow, very strange push there from Se7en.
Okay, I mean, it wasn't too out of the ordinary because the sentry gun was still up for Lowpander, and they didn't have the burst to bring it down. It's actually a pretty cool sentry position by Lowpander. Never thought the words would be coming out of my mouth. I give Lowpander a lot of banter, but they are honestly a completely different team from when I last casted them. So I am very pleasantly surprised by this battle that they are putting up as it stands. Cadis though gets a pipe off onto Funds. Funds is gonzo. He's out for 15 seconds. Is that enough of a pick, Dolly, to make movements around the map?
I would say so. I mean, there's still a heavy and an engineer up, and these can be very, very hard to deal with in a trade, but they have done that, taking down the sentry, and they're just looking to re-engage. Cadis flying all the way behind. This is classic Cadis. He's just going to stick off that panic route. And meanwhile, Flash picking up 2 frags, and he just gets in close range on the heavy. He does fall, but that does pave the way for Captain and Drak to move in. And Raymond and Mirage just falling.
Oh my god!
Mr. Epic on that heavy, saving the last point. And Talash with 2 entries. Cadis with all the distraction, they can't close it out. And will they be gifted an opportunity like that again, Bren?
They went for the double soldier sack. They tried to sync up the damage to burst down that 450 HP machine that was slamming them down. And it didn't work out. I don't know who it was, but someone missed their rockets and they couldn't burst him down. Mr. Epic was so low, and if they just picked him off, that would have been a free point. Ridiculous. Oh, even if they just played one more person to the point, actually, that would have capped enough for them to get around. But that is rough now. Lowpander have immediately capitalized off the back of it. They've got 100% Uber charge as it stands, a 50% advantage, and they're looking for more in the back. The Uber charge gets forced out by Falash. That's the plays he needs to be going for, the 1-for-1 trade, as they call it in the industry. Drax in the back. Did he just hit a nutty shot onto Hildred? Was that what I just saw? Oh, God.
That's pretty crisp from him. He's going to get away and still distracted on this flank. They know he's behind, but Crayon is low health. He could get an entry here, but they've spotted him out. Just going to keep spamming him. Drak still making a little bit of distraction, and it's paved the way for Flash to enter on point, and they've taken over the high ground. Mookie possibly could fall in this lobby, but they're just going to have to run away with this. And Raymond with full advantage, looking to move through one. Cadis flying in. Gets so much damage.
Oh, the pipes! Cadis, he's back to 2014, boys! We brought him back. We needed him to save Team Fortress 2, but is it going to be enough? I'm not too sure. Drak lays in the damage. The stickies are there. The point will be played, and it should be available. Indeed it is. It goes to 7-2 all. Oh, Cadis, that's what we like to see. Oh, baby. Ha! Team Fortress 2. Even my dogs are getting excited. I don't know if you can hear them. They're barking in the back. Yeah, dogs. Cadis back. Yeah, they're back.
Mookie up on the sniper. Cadis really showing his true prowess, jumping in almost every last push, and it's working out to perfection. Nearly worked out the last time, but definitely seals the deal that round. And quite passive play from Lowpander so far, but it looks like Crayon and the gang moving forward on this right side. Hopefully the initiation will come through. Cadis coming forward with the pipes, and now he has tons of stickies to plow forward with. Captain falls though, they bait in the aggression, and so does Cadis from a lovely shot from Mookie, and another lovely shot takes down Raymond. Mookie showing up here on this mid.
Mookie, he is on fire, man. This guy popping off the shots, no respect shown. 5 minutes remaining in this global timer for map number 2 between Lowpander and Se7en. Is one hell of a game. And Se7en are almost down and out. I mean, Crayon did fall. That's the one thing you need to grasp out of that. So it's not going to be moving into the back with an Uber charge advantage. Still, it is Se7en on the back foot. They're moving up to the back of it. Mookie ends up going down. Gets pressured. The point was capped up, but eventually Lowpander are going to have to back off here.
That's really smart from Se7en. They knew that Crayon was only just arriving. It takes a while for him to walk and start distributing heals. So they knew that there was no heals on the high ground, and they just completely take over and swarm it. Speaking of swarming in there, coming into this choke here with Cadis leading the charge. Ubers falls, and that should be a lot of entry. And look
Jesus
at Cadis,
Christ.
captain, the 2 stars of this team, coming through and making plays. Tons of damage there. Really good play from Se7en.
Oh my god, what is this? I've broken out of in a sweat before this game began, but it's just got to the point now where my body's given up on me. The only thing that's currently functioning is my mouth. I can't even see the screen. My eyes have shut down. I'm conserving energy for the rest of this game. My lungs are performing at maximum capacity. Time in, time out. Se7en want to be moving in. They got the plays, and they're going thick and fast. Cadis with the Uber charge. He gets flashed onto him. He gets saved, but it's a much better one at that. Coming out by Lowpander. Funds with the damage on his heavy weapons guy roll. Brings down Falash. It's a 2-man advantage, and the push is stunted.
Yes, indeed. I mean, they flashed far too many people. That's typically not what you want to be doing when you're going in, but sometimes you have to, especially when the sentry is up. I had a headshot ring out, but Cadis pushing through on the lower area. Takes down Crayon and Hildreth. What a play from
doing this? Old Cadis is back. I wasn't even memeing when I said it before. The damage is being put in. The sentry gun is going down. There's no one on the last point. It's getting played up. Mookie is the only one who can do anything, but it's too little, too late. Se7en claiming another quick and easy round, making it 3-2. Jesus Lord Almighty, how have we been gifted with some Team Fortress 2 gameplay today?
Cadis just slipping in through that lower area in that team fight. Just hits 2 nut spikes, takes down 2 crucial targets, and they've made that a small but important round. And Mookie has to hit his shot on the next mid if they have any chance of getting back into this game, Bren.
They need to do it. They need to do it here and now. 2.5 minutes. Lowpander have got to come out big. They've got to come out huge. They want to be turning this into the golden cut. They do not want to turn this one around. Mookie is still on sniper, and he finds the pick onto Flash. Can he follow it up? Lowpander looking for the opportunities. Raymond goes down in the back, but the answer is immediately there as Se7en are just destroying them. Meanwhile, Funds, if he's got anything to do about it, picks up a quick and easy little 2K. Mr. Epic with the follow-up. Raymond still alive. It's a 2v2 scenario. Mr. Epic again finds the kill. Raymond goes for the shot, but it doesn't work. Mr. Epic cleaning up. Oh my goodness. It's 2 minutes on the clock for them to try and do something.
Wow, interesting to know that both medics went down on that mid, which is classic, but I mean, wow, Mr. Epic pulling out for his team, just reloading, reinitiating with Hildreth. What a play from him, take down 3 players. What a play from him. Amazing stuff from Mr. Epic, showing up. He showed up last map, now he's showing up again. But we do see Ubers flying in, looking for some information for his team, and they're just looking to dry push this. Actually, it's not dry. Crayon has somehow given himself a 70% odd advantage. Sorry, about 50%. But that's still a large one, and definitely one that they could work off. And do Se7en know? That is the question. They could move off this.
Dolly, this is big. This is huge. Do Se7en realise it? They're off class, and Phallus is on the heavy weapons guy, but is it going to be enough? They're in the spawn, the stickies are cleared, the point is being played, they're going to get dented up. So much cap time, Se7en have to play it, damage is done, moving into the back, Ubers tries to put in the work. Mookie is there, last man standing, not going to be good enough, they beef it. How do they beef it? One more player, if they just played the point, it could have been doable, it could have been beautiful. Oh.
Yeah, I honestly thought that was going to go Lowpander's way, but they have one last push, and it's going to look very scary for Lowpander, as Raymond did not die in that fight, so he has an 80% Uber advantage. And this is impossible to push with an Uber for Lowpander, because they only 18 seconds left on the clock, and they have to go now, Bren.
They gotta do it. They gotta go. As you mentioned, Dolly, Cadis, the Uber charge comes out now. Lowpander, they have to bait it out. The point's being played. I don't believe it! I don't believe it! Se7en move off the capture point in the nick of time with only seconds remaining, and they even it out. It's 3-all. It's gonna go to the golden cap. Oh my god! I'm getting a drink. Be right back.
I don't even know what to say to that. But yeah, 7 really looking shaky towards the end of that game. They looked really solid at the beginning, but Funds and Mr. Epic absolutely stepping up. Funds, I said at the beginning that he is the star of this team and really solidifying himself to that name. Wow. And Ubers is restarting, so we do have a little bit of time to talk here. Perhaps we should go over some logs, but wow. Can't believe they did that. Honestly, it looked so poor. Raymond flashed 2 or 3 players, and he had a good Uber. You don't usually expect to win fights against a full Uber disadvantage, especially not when there's 20 seconds left, but they just play the point, and wow, Funds stepping up.
Got a cold one here for the boys. Oh man. What a game. What a flipping game.
Let's have a look at the logs, Bren.
Yes, please. Get me involved. Show me the money. Cadus, 330 damage per minute. Oh man, what a game. Uber's turning up. Didn't get the kills, but he got the damage done. And I mean...
Look at Mr. Epic though, 27 to 12. That is
disgusting.
That is unreal.
Disgusting.
Yeah, that's disgusting from Mr. Epic. Like, he was just the linchpin. Like, him and Funds were just running around the map, always initiating, always finding places to abuse the vision in the messy team fights. And Lowpander really strive when they make it messy. Sometimes it's hard for them to keep track of what's happening, but Funds is always a key player who can step up in those types of fights, and we saw it there, especially with the Mr. Epic 3K as well. Wow, that's amazing, but also a big slip up from 7.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give credit to Lowpander, I think, as well. It's... Jeez almighty. They played out of their minds. I mean, it was a misplay by 7 towards the tail end, not playing the point, even with the Uber advantage. But that's when the mistakes are made. That's when it all comes down to those final moments. And how many times have we seen it? When the seconds are ticking down, everything is against all odds for the team when they're pushing in. And somehow they find the opening. It's the nerves. It's got to be. It's got to be that tilt factor. And how do you think now 7 are feeling coming into this game? I'd be ready to uninstall the game after that. I'd be donezo. I mean, if, you know, there's been questions about them attending I-61, just get the fundraiser going for Lowpander, boys. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think Mookie does have a fundraiser for him and Ubers, so if you visit Mookie's stream, you can donate to them if you really want to see them. But I'll tell you what, if I-61 is anything like this, then, you know,
we're
it's
in for a treat.
to watch.
100%. We're in for a treat. Regardless of international attendance, whatever, Lowpander are a decent team. And if they're putting it pound to pound against 7, geez almighty. I mean, and we got to remember as well, in the chat, Raxo TF2 said if Lowpander wins this, he's going to drink his own piss. We've got to remember that one as well. So I'm rooting for Lowpander. Here out, let's go. I want to see this guy just drink his own urine.
I mean, that's the true prize. You know, there's not a lot of prizes in TF2, but, you know, that is certainly a prize in itself. Just losing a bet and having to drink your own piss, which is absolutely excellent. But Lowpander could do it, you know? Honestly. Like, if they have a good mid, they have put someone on sniper every single mid, which could be easily countered. I mean, you can kind of take the left side and really put pressure on him. Captain and Drac, towards the tail end, at the beginning, they had colossal impact on the mids. They were always showing up. They were always doing bombs in the right places where they couldn't be denied. But yeah, towards the tail end, they just kind of got countered a little bit. I felt like perhaps a few missed rockets here and there. So in order for 7 to win this mid, has to be on Captain's shoulders.
I am waiting, right? Because it's all going to be off the back of this first mid. It's all going to be off the back of this first mid. As you mentioned, at least that's what we thought in the previous Golden Cap, right? Granary. And Lowpander ended up winning that first mid fight. They beefed it. They beefed the final push. In Granary, I'm just trying to set your minds back now, ladies and gentlemen. Let me paint you a picture. And it was still Se7en who took it. So, if we go by the same logic, if Se7en win the mid, Lowpander will win the round.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Se7en coming out and really just going full force onto that mid last time and completely wiped them. There was no question about it that they were going to win that round, and we could possibly see the same fate for either of these teams. I mean, if you get wiped on mid, that's done. I mean, very, very rare that you can defend properly against full Uber advantage, especially when you all kind of have different spawn waves. But definitely that comes down to the mid, Bren. Like, what are we gonna see?
Yeah, I mean, in the past, when it was a completely different roster, I think they were called Crowns back then. They ran Spy to mid on process as a counteract. And
there was a golden cap on the last map.
Yeah.
On the last.
Yes. Oh my god. On the very last map, potentially last mid fight, it was ridiculous. And I don't know. Realistically, we could see anything. These teams have a lot of potential. I mean, Se7en have the advantage where they don't run a lot of spy off classes, so it's going to be unexpected if they did try and pull something out like that, right? And they've also got the advantage where they know that Lowpander like to play Mookie on the spy. They also know in this case they like to run sniper to mid every time. So right now, I guarantee you, while this pause is kicking off, and we're waiting for it to count down, Cadis is 100% talking about how to handle Mookie on this mid, on the sniper. That's the contingency plan. They're trying to develop something here. Set play, possibly rotating around with both soldiers. Who knows? Like, again, I'm a retard when it comes to Team Fortress 2. I don't know. Don't listen to me. Listen to Cadis. But unfortunately, we can't because he's currently speaking to his team. But if he was here, he'd be working out a plan.
I think one of the things is Mookie isn't winning the mids. Like, it's usually Funz or Mr. Epic who just cleans up the soldiers and they move forward off the back of that. But the longer the fight progresses, the more dangerous the sniper becomes because you're looking at other things, you're reloading, you've given up position. Like, the sniper just gets more and more inch by inch sightlines, and I think that's what's losing them the fight. It's just almost like being scared of the sniper late game. And if we see it as mid, like, the sniper could win it, but we're not even sure if we will see a sniper at a Lowpander. And one of the things that you could run as well on the Se7en is Mirosh on the sniper. I mean, he's been turning up this game, perhaps the Lash as well. But you do tend to need 2 scouts on the mid fight. Captain, a very good scout, could possibly change, but I mean, possibly you could have Mirosh or Talash on the sniper to counter it and just kind of play it by ear and set the plays up that way.
Wow, the Pyro update's out.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Sure. I mean, how long have we been waiting now? Of course it'll be out today. I mean, we've been waiting, what, a year? Maybe more?
The reason
wow. They gave the Pyro a jetpack and the demo man a Glock. Wow.
That's so cool. So, Pyro meta. No, guys. Welcome to the new age. Team Fortress 2. I'd love that, though. That'd be so cool if, like, Pyro was, like, involved in the meta. Like, even if he wasn't, like, ran all the time, like, it'd be kind of cool if he was, like, completely different, you know what I mean?
Give the Pyro a lightning gun, you know?
Yeah.
Just turn him into the heavy. Just remove the Pyro. Just get rid of the Pyro. Get rid of him. Get him out. I don't want to see him anymore. Show me only 6v6. Get out. I'm a tier 2 6 as elitist.
You're isolating the community, Bren. Don't say
Get him out. I hate Reddit. Get him out. I want to see only stock Team Fortress 2 back in 2007.
You know what? You're just providing ammo now for Reddit.
Oh, I banned someone in the chat by accident. Whoops. Hold on, I gotta unban them. Fuck. Give me a second. Can somebody unban 05TF?
Every time someone makes a post about Highlander matchmaking, you're just going to be quoted and clipped saying, you know, this is what the Sixes community is. And you're just going to be chatting shit about Pyro and Sixes meta.
This is the TF2 competitive community. A bunch of elitists. They don't care. They just want the game to be like the game. They just want it to be their game. And it's not. I want hats. And I want hats and colours. And I want to be able to play spy on mid. And I want to win. There you go.
Fair enough. But Raymond says, let's go. And here we go, Bren. This is the golden cap of the ETF2L Season 27, Week 7 game between Lowpander and the Titan 7. Very close fixtures so far. All come to this. Mookie
This is close.
on the sniper once again. Oh, spy. What?
Spy?
The HUD says sniper.
What's going on?
Mookie's on the spy.
He's not. He's on sniper.
He is. No. He's on spy.
What do you mean?
You can
No,
see him by the rock. He's behind Cadus. Right?
What? Oh my god, it's confusing the heck out of me. But Cadus has picked up 2 kills. Oh god, what is going on? They just rolled over them.
Mookie has to come in now. Mookie has to
hasn't
come
worked
out
out at
big.
all.
And he
Mookie
does!
needs
He takes down Raymond. That has single-handedly saved his team from losing right now. What a play from Mookie. Se7en did not expect it. They get hit with the start play. I-58 flashbacks. What a play from Mookie. But simultaneously, what a play from Cadus. And are they looking to move into last right now?
My thing is messed up because they paused. God damn. What are they doing? What are these guys doing? Man, what the heck is kicking off? I don't even know what I mean, it's equal Ubers, right? Because both medics went down. But it's a slight Uber advantage to Lowpander. But they are on the last point. Se7en have got them pinned in deep behind enemy lines. And no off class is being ran by Se7en as far as I'm aware. On the side of Lowpander, they're just switching to the engineer role. Yeah, that's Mookie on spy again.
Yeah, I mean, Mookie has had some wonderful spy plays this fixture. I mean, we saw the one on Granary up on the pipe. We saw this one now. On the mid, saving his team single-handedly. They needed a big play. And wow, on process mid there, pulling it out. But now, what can he do on the spy now, Bren?
I don't know. The chat's bullying me because I'm overriding you, I think. So, Dolly, it's the Dolly show from here on out. All right, I need to win the chat's favor again.
The thing is, people like slate me for talking too much, so I'm pretty surprised that they like don't want to hear your voice, you know. But you are chatting shit. So
I am chatting a lot of shit. I'm chatting far too much shit. Jesus Lord Almighty. How do I reset my HUD?
Just retry it. But Mookie, in the back lines, just as we say that CCTV camera here, and he spots the lash on snipers. So now Lowpander going to be extra careful, not walking into those sidelines, not gifting anything away for Se7en to use. And Mookie still got eyes on where they are. He knows that Thalash is in lobby. And Lowpander setting up accordingly. Teleporter goes down, but Cadus falls, and that is going to be big, especially because the sniper can't lock down these chokes as well as a Doberman can, and they're one down with the sniper. He can't engage in this combat, and I'm surprised Lowpander aren't even moving forward off this. I mean, Cadus is a big pick. He's the caller.
Because of Mookie.
Yeah,
he's trying to get the pick onto Cadus here. Cadus clocks onto it. Ooh, Mookie is out of there. Surfs his way across the map, just going to be pistoling him down. He's going to try and force somebody back, but I mean, Cadus is a big boy. He can take care of himself, and he just sticky jumps his way out of there.
Now they know that they have a spy, and Raymond is just going to position himself accordingly. He's up on the spire looking around, but that could take the attention and the heals away from Thalash, and they could possibly abuse that. But Mookie's still behind. The worst thing that you could do now is give away a player other than Mookie. If someone else dies to Thalash, or a Cadus sticky trap, Mookie is just stuck behind, not engaging in the fight, and that's technically 2 down for Lowpanders. Mookie has to come up big. Lowpander had to play defensively. And
I mean, normally teams when you run a spy on the defense, you sack somebody in as a distraction as well. I mean, you can do, but
what?
They just because they know. Because they know. They just know, you know. They just know.
But he got.
Are you trying to say that Se7en are cheaters? That they're hacking?
But like, they know where the spy is every time.
Yeah, they know.
It's gonna sack in and die. To the sentry, that's a double man sack from Drak and Thalash. Trying to get that sniper symmetry, possibly Drak getting the force as well, but Lowpander looking to move off this.
But are they though? That's the thing. They've still got Mookie and they've got an engineer set up. Like they're not in a position to play off it. Oh, as I say that, no, you are completely correct, Dolly. Mookie goes for the play. The banner was popped as a distraction, but Raymond was far too intelligent for getting caught out of position like that. Far, far too intelligent. And Cadus is going to pipe him down. And I don't know why I'm speaking with an affluent English accent, but I can immediately see the ha-has in the chat. That's for sure.
And look at Crayon. He's hiding in the dispenser. I mean, this has become meta in like quite a few maps where you just like build a dispenser and then have your medics sit in there. After the ordeal and that famous clip with Sideshow where he gets like out DM'd by his dispenser, I think it's gained in popularity. But yeah, Crayon not gonna see any damage coming his way anytime soon. Hildreth locking off that area in the rollout, but heals coming the way of Thalash, and he's just looking for a pick. Hits a nice headshot on Funds there, but can't get anything else. And every time Thalash goes for a cheeky peek like that, Crayon is safe and sound in that dispenser.
What is happening? What's going on? What are they running? Mookie's still on Spy again in the back. They obviously notice. It's almost a guarantee. Raymond's constantly peering around. Maros is there as well. Last time we saw Lowpander try and go in with the banner to distract with, so Mookie could get a pick, but it's not really going to be working in this scenario.
What if he gets seen again? He's moving through this lower area. Flash taking down the teleporter. He is gonna try and pistol down. I mean, he's in a fairly safe position, so he can afford to do that because he can just go back to spawn now. But I think he's acting like he's going back to spawn. But what? Takes a peek and takes down Crayon. What a play from Thalash, using that distraction to perfection. Thalash showing his true prowess on the sniper. And Crayon says, "Was I not in my box?" in the chat.
Oh, this is potentially
down Funds again.
Dolly, is this
Thalash 4. This could be it. I mean, the respawns are coming in actually. Mookie getting 2 frags. Hildreth falling. That's no stickies on the point. Raymond taking down Mookie. 2 up. That's Crayon and Mr. Epic. Mr. Epic, 1 man against the world. Can't seem to do anything. And that is Se7en taking this fixture. 2 golden caps though, Bren. Both going Se7en's way.
Sweet
Very
release.
close fixture. And yeah, I mean, if this is the finals we can expect, then definitely one to watch, Bren.
Sign me up. Sign me the heck up, my man.
I'd be surprised if they let you cast again.
Well, I've been invited, so unlucky Team Fortress 2 community. See you at I-61.
No. I like your casting on LAN, Bren.
In all seriousness,
always step up.
It's I'm not going to be casting as many games at I-61 because I'm not involved in the TF2 scene as much.
You're just going to be drinking like Koppenberg on your own in a corner.
That's exactly what I'm doing right now. So yeah,
fair enough.
I'm going to be casting less games this LAN to move over because I don't follow the scene as much. So it wouldn't be fair, but yeah, that was a pretty sick game. We probably got logs to look at and other stuff. Do we have to do interviews? I don't particularly want to do an interview. Do you?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. It'd be interesting to see how they feel about such a close game.
Yeah, sure. What are the logs looking like, Dom? Let's peer into the logs. It's relatively short. But can we sort it by something, please, production? Can we sort it by... Oh, nice. Okay. Damage per minute. That's pretty tasty. Not much to delve into here, to be honest, because the game was quite short. The logs are pretty lackluster, you know.
Yeah, I mean, interesting that Thalash 5 frags. I mean, most we see is like 2 or 3, but Thalash with 5. That's something to analyze, I suppose. Raymond with 1 death. We saw him dying on that mid fight to the spy play, but yeah, I mean, overall good showing from both these teams. Hello, Hildreth.
Hildreth, hello? Is that you?
Yes, sir.
How's it going?
Fine. Are you okay?
No, but I'm well enough to interview you to an extent. How?
You don't sound well.
No, I'm sweating profusely. I think I'm genuinely ill. But it's unrelated to the game. It was an entertaining game, very backwards and forwards. You had the potential to take it away from them. What was the team like? What was the team comms? Give me an accurate representation of what it was like. Can you reenact it for me?
Not really possible, but we really wanted to win.
Yeah.
So we're up for it today.
Yeah, I just wondered what your kind of goal was for this game. I'm sure you weren't expecting to win it, but once it started getting sort of close, and are you looking to sort of see their strategies? Are you planning for playoffs? Like, are you trying to take something away from this game, or were you just like playing your hearts out just to play, you know, just to practice your own game?
Well, we needed a point to guarantee second, so we got that today. That's one thing. We could have potentially got 6-0, but to get first seed, but we couldn't get it on Granary. So from that point, it was just a case of trying to win. We tried to win every map. I mean, obviously, the thing about it in the grand scheme of things, after the first map, the second map was all about. It was more practicing, if you think about it. But I don't know. We did okay on a personal level. I didn't have a very good game. I was just having a really bad day. So I feel like if I was playing as good as I can play, then we would have taken the maps. But you know, it's how it goes in the game.
Can I just ask, like, are you guys staying together next season? I know you guys are playing at I-61, but are you gonna come back around next season?
It's like 2 months is a long time in TF2.
Oh, that's true.
You have to see how people feel.
You're moving to Lawbreakers, aren't you, Hildreth?
Pardon?
You're moving to Lawbreakers, aren't you?
I don't know what that is.
That joke just fell flat on its face. No, in all seriousness, though, I haven't watched Lowpander for a very long time, and I was very impressed by the level of play, the stepping up. It was because I'm going to be honest, I haven't watched too much TF2 at all this season, and it was impressive. I'm very pleased. You know, I don't know why I'm pleased, but I didn't have anything to do with your success as the season has gone on. Not to say that today was a success, but yeah, I'm pleased to see that your team in general, everyone has stepped up. That's not even a question. That's just a statement. I don't really know how you're going to answer that.
I'll just say thank you. You know,
you're welcome. I don't know, Dolly. Please save me.
Okay. So how has your playstyle sort of changed with the pickup of Crayon and Funds? Like, is there any sort of differences between Granger and Kisakala? I think Crayon is probably a very different medic than Kisakala. You know, probably having to start again with some of the strategies and just introducing them to the team. Is there any key differences that you can kind of outline?
Well, we started trialing at the start of the season. Like, the first season in Prem, we literally started playing like the week before we started, or the season started. This time we were like playing a few weeks before pre-season playoffs even started, just trialing people. So we picked up Graham pretty quickly because we just wanted to improve on our team with the people that were going, and we did that. Funds is more experienced than Grange's. He's I think just in general he's just an upgrade. He's a top Prem scout in my opinion.
Funds is having a really good showing. Like, you saw him at LAN, like, really stepping up, and I think he's, like, a very good addition to your team. Does he, like, play the role well? And
yeah,
I mean,
Granger when he was motivated was, you know, he was decent enough for our team at the time. But Funds is another level, and we're glad to get him because he's kind of just takes us to that next level. And Crayon is because Kiss is a good friend of mine, but he really lost motivation to play the game. Like, he would have played the season, but he was just gone. Like, his motivation was gone. So the team kind of like wanted to try a bit harder, and so we replaced him. Crayon's just a lot better at kind of just getting out and staying alive than Kisser is. Because Kisser sometimes he just loses focus and just does like brain dead things just because he gets bored with the game. I don't know. So yeah, it was.
The last question that I have is to do with the banners. When did that kind of idea hatch? Like, you probably wanted something fresh coming into the season. There's a lot of potential to sort of mix things up with that, and you can, you know, I've seen you guys play quite a lot and like scrim and things, and you always seem to pull something out of the banners. Like, you use them for entry, you use them for trades, like after fights, things like that. Like, where did that idea stem from, really? Like, was it your goal to play around those quite a lot?
Well, and TF2 is a very limited game in what you can do, surprisingly, especially the way the game is at the moment. So I think banners is one of the more obvious things. If you just think about what unlocks there are, it's games are very slow and stalematey. So banners are kind of like an obvious choice behind the predictable sacks and stuff like that teams do a lot. So that's I guess that's the thinking. But honestly, I just play my role.
Yeah.
And sort of the wider things, I think about what my team do, and then I just play my role around it. If Mickey's playing Spy, I play my role around that.
I have a question. What's up with running Mookie on Spy so much?
I don't know. It's generally his choice. I mean, sometimes we'll like call something specific if we have an idea, but generally he'll be his choice.
It seems quite rare that you... I mean, I saw a couple of distraction plays, but Mookie's often just left to his own devices to just try time and time again. Is that not... Do you not see that as a big weakness? Because it makes you a lot more predictable compared to other teams. Like, when you're locked in those scenarios where it's a bit salematey, like, it's almost a guarantee that Mookie's going to be on Spy.
Yeah, but, like, every other team does that, if you think about it. Generally, like, Se7en, for example, usually... either Flash is going to go Spy or Sniper, or now that they got Marosh, or they're going to sack Drac. It's not very hard.
Yeah.
It's about it's just about those opportunities that come up and taking your chance. Like for example, Mookie got a few insane drops today, but Flash got some insane headshots and things like that. Just happen in the game. It's predictable. For what Flash is going to do, we still couldn't stop it.
That's the thing, though, isn't it? The difference between the classes. Like, Sniper, I think you can consistently be a presence and you're not within the danger of getting picked off, whereas with Spy, it's sort of a one-hit wonder. Maybe you get 2 attempts at a sack on the medic, whereas, Sniper, you are within the safe confines of your team to an extent.
Maybe, but that didn't lose us the game.
No.
Sniper, we have 3 very good snipers on our team. We can run Sniper when we feel like it, but Mookie wasn't feeling it today.
Okay.
But he was feeling Spy, so and it worked more
reaching
often
into his inner stabby.
It's kind of harder to account for as well. Like, obviously we saw Se7en finding Mookie quite a lot, but in general, just the way the classes work, like you can play around a sniper, you can set your team up, so not peeking sightlines, and they're kind of spamming the right angles. So that sniper can't really get a sight. With Spy, it's really easy to penetrate the walls and things. Find entrances, can always get in most of the time, at least get some information for your team. So I think it's a fairly wise choice. It can be really good, I think, and Mookie uses it really well a lot of the time. Again, not a question.
Yeah, I agree.
Bren, do you have any last questions, or can we wrap this up?
Let's break it down. Let's wrap it up. Let's finish it up. Dolly, any shout-outs in particular? I guess we should go to Hildreth first, actually. Hildreth, any shout-outs?
Oh, I want to shout out my my Highlander Nations Cup team, England.
Oh God,
I couldn't play today, unfortunately. Don't oh God it. Be a patriot. Be a man. So I think they're losing to Americans, so actually, oh God, indeed. Forget
that's
those guys.
Pretty oh God.
Yeah,
Can't imagine losing to the Yanks.
I need to go save them now. So shout out to them, shout out to you guys for the cast, obviously, the viewers. I could plug Mookie's donation drive over on Twitch.
Yeah, do it.
Oh,
we already said,
okay,
donate to Lowpander.
Twitch.tv/MUUQ. You can donate to get Ubers and Bistripic to LAN. None of the money's going to me. Don't worry about that. Okay.
So if you hate Hildreth, you're in the clear. You can still donate to Lowpander. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And and obviously my boys LP and the gang and Kamari, my lady.
All right. Well, Dolly, do you want to close it out, or should I?
You
Which
can
order
close
we
it out.
doing
I think
this?
you were the story of the cast. I think.
I don't know about that. I just literally drank a lot. Dolly, any shout outs?
No, not particularly today.
Alright, well, I don't really have anything to say other than sell out my own Twitch. Come to my Twitch channel. Use a Twitch Prime sub on me, and I don't have any emotes for you, but you can have a good time, you know? You can have a good time. But regardless of that, we're finishing up today. It's been a wonderful cast, if you have a funny definition of wonderful like me. It was a pleasure to cast you, Dolly. Gem on production as well. As always, a standard job. Can take a bit of banter. And thank you for watching, I guess. ETF2L Season 27, Week number 7, Lowpander versus Se7en. But there's plenty more TF2 action to be coming up on the horizon.